places. It's just finishing it up. But as you can see the players now, it's Xbox's turn now. One of these players will be making the 32nd and the final spot in that Grand Final London. Will it be Rafsou from Olympic Lyon or Tim Latka from Schalke?
One of these two players will be joining the likes of #TAS, Unilike Gorilla, Vitality Rocky, Shells, Malux, the names go on and on, Ajax, Danny, will all be there. We've got one more place up for grabs, and it will be going to one of these two players over the course of the next 2 legs of FIFA.
And as you can see, Schalke, or the man from Schalke, Tim Latka, kicking from left to right, with Rafsou from Lyon from right to left. And it's going to be an interesting one, this one. Just to throw it all the way back, 5-4 Rafsou won against Vince. He was, at one point, 4 goals to 2 down. 4 goals to 2 down in one of those games. He came back to win 5-4, and if that doesn't show, character, I don't know what does.
Yeah, definitely. All the way through the tournament, he's proved himself at the very highest level. Has Rafsou. He's won where he needed to win. He's peaked at the right times, and right now we're riding a huge, huge wave of momentum.
It's going to be a chance now, an early goal for him. Messi there, and big save in the end there. 3-1 the score was to Tim Latka from that first, well, that semi-final, the 2-legged affair there. And that made a very interesting contest. It was a 2-1 win in the first game, and it was only a 1-0 very, very late on against Ajax Kuhn.
Yeah, what a game that was as well. Tim Latka proving himself against the very best in this competition. You've got to remember, both of these players were in Munich as well. They've struggled to get out into that grand final.
There's a chance there, Ronaldo, surely. Just wide, Hullet inside to Messi. Still going to keep possession there, he's going to be offside.
This is their second bite of the cherry almost to get to that grand final later on in London. Which one of these two can do it? Only one will claim the last 30-second spot.
Only one player
will
prevail, yeah. There's one more Xbox spot available, and you'll be in that big, big console final chance for Messi there, and superb defending in the end from Tim Latka from Schalke.
Yeah, Rafsou, if you are just joining us, in the white, as you can see at the top of the screen.
Yes! There we go!
Wow.
What you wanted to do there? Tim Latka saying, I haven't touched him at all. Ball in there, all he did was hold the LT. A lot of people will know that. Literally back to goal, make sure he makes the foul. Chance now,
yeah,
pull it
the ball
against De Gea. Or Neuer, sorry. There he goes!
Yes.
Neuer doesn't move, and Rafsou takes the lead by 1-0.
Yeah, it's not a great penalty, is it, Brandon? He just slotted the ball past the goalkeeper, breaks the deadlock. 15 minutes gone on the clock, and Manuel Neuer.
It doesn't have to be pretty at times. A goal is a goal, and especially with the importance of these 2 games, Richard, you're playing for everything now. This is the most, we said a few games ago, it was the most important game in the FIFA 17 career. This is a huge game in their FIFA 17 career.
Not even FIFA 17 career, FIFA career. These players representing Schalke and Olympic Lyon, they might be coming up to the end of the contract, maybe at the end of the FIFA. One of these 2 players will be getting their contract renewed if they are at that grand final.
Because you can say, you know what, I'm an interactive World Cup
grand finalist.
Yeah, grand finalist. Still, I'm actual FIFA Interactive World Cup finalist. Here's a chance now. Surely, all square. It's that simple sometimes. Ball goes through to Ronaldo, and he's not going to be missing from there anytime soon.
1 goal on the 14th, 1 goal on the 17th. This plans to be a huge, huge game.
I think it was Boateng. Now, look, you could just see on the replay, he just got pulled out. Easy through ball to Ronaldo. And Ronaldo, the 99 card, does not miss from there.
Yeah, he rarely squanders a chance, does 99. Cristiano Ronaldo slots it past the goalkeeper, 1-1 with less than 20 minutes gone in this game.
There's been a lot more goals. I know it was 3-1 in that first game, but straight away, he's bit back. One thing that Rafsou isn't great at, for me, is holding leads.
Yeah, we even saw it in Munich, a lot of the games.
Oh, could he get back in front now? Back to Suarez, get a shot away, surely. Oh, that's beautiful feet. Maybe a little bit too much there. Hull it now, and Walker will maybe just do enough. No, he doesn't. Vieira that this time gives away possession. Suarez, Ronaldo is just panicking a little bit around the back there.
Yeah, and you just need to keep calm, does both of these 2 players in their retrospective positions. Can't be over pulling out defenders, just got to keep calm. There's a long, long road to London right now. Both of these players, they've had this opportunity before, and it's all about the mental, psychological side of the game. They need to keep calm.
If you're sitting at home now thinking, you just got to win 2 games of FIFA, mate, then you're in that big final. Here's a chance now for Suarez! Yeah! There we go! The ultimate turnaround has already started. And Tim Latka from Schalke absolutely just bullets that one to the top of the net with Luis Suarez.
Yeah, I didn't know if he were going to pass it once more to Pele. It was free to the left-hand side of him, but didn't need him. Turned with Luis Suarez, fires it home, and more importantly, fires Tim Latka into a 2-1 lead in this final.
It's a long way, but over yet, Richard, a very long way. Still loads of time left. There's still a second leg to play, but what I'm liking here, we've seen 3 goals, and we've seen players that like to attack.
Yeah, both these players very free-flowing in that attacking third. You maybe could say that neither of them that defensively sound at the back, but
I'd agree.
they know how to score goals.
They're not elite goals, but if you can outscore your opponent, you're going to have a field day, really, aren't you? Remember, this is the Xbox side of things, so you can see legends are in full swing.
Yeah, you got the likes of Rude Hull, you can see there, Patrick Vieira. You've probably got Rio Ferdinand at that centre-back position. What these unbelievable stats on the cards. More importantly, they give chemistry to every other player in the squad that is surrounding them. So you can use Ferdinand at centre-back and then whoever you want at right-back. Piszczek, for example, it'd still get the chemistry needed.
Chemistry, yeah. That's why we often see more of the strong link towards the keeper, like the David Luiz's, or I can see the Boateng's there for using Manuel Neuer. A mixture of things. If you want to, sorry, for David Luiz, probably make more sense to put Courtois in goal, which for me, I'm not a fan of. I know New York City Chris does love him, but he's a little bit dodgy for me now and then.
Yeah, Courtois, he's vulnerable to a mistake now and again. Chance here for Rafsou, trying to get back into this game. Currently losing 2-1.
I did say he was kind of my underdog or favourite. Rafsou was, and here he comes in the attack now. Chance, Pogba, one more, just offside there. He has a habit of overworking it at times.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Almost trying to find the perfect opportunity. Sometimes just take on a shot. If you've got that little bit of space, you're using ratings of cards that are unbelievably high, 98, 99, 97 rated. Take on a shot, because 9 times out of 10, you'll hit the target at least.
On target at least. And the next thing you know what keepers can be like on this game. They can pull off unbelievable saves, but it's a game of football. If it goes into the top corner, 9 times out of 10, keeper's not going to get there. And the score is at 2-1 as that man, Tim Latka from Schalke, makes the attack. He is 2-1 up in this game. First leg, still a long way to go. So just offside there, you can just see. Not too happy there. Just whiskers, or sorry, inches. Offside, you could say.
Yeah, very, very tight offside there, but we get play resumed. Lionel Messi on this near side for Rafsou, plays inside to Cristiano Ronaldo, probably 35 yards out from goal. No real need for a shot there. Going to try and work it into the area, but once again, that defence of Tim Latka standing strong.
Boateng there, a double kind of interception, you could say. Sometimes when you come out of that back line, you have to make the tackle, because you're risking opening up a gap for a player to exploit. He tried to get the switch all the way across. If he can get round, Ronaldo can, into Vieira. I think that was Pele on the far-hand side, but it was Messi doing his defensive duties on this occasion. Yeah,
Hull it on Vieira there, potentially starting a counter-attack here for Rafsou, but Latka once again pulls Boateng out of position, wins back the ball, and he's going to try and start a counter-attack of his own. Patrick Vieira, the 88 rated legend in use for, I think, both of these sides.
Superb defensive play. He does get a few goals now and then too. Well, this could be beautiful there, and surely the second time, still off the post.
That is a mistake from Rafsou. He won the ball back, he just didn't clear his lines. He passed it straight back to his opponent, and at half-time, very, very even stats. Only the 1 goal separate the two sides.
And here's how it all started. It was Rafsou there, a little bit forward with the penalty, you could say. Upstep Luis Suarez. Manuel Neuer, you gonna dive, or
not a very confident penalty, shall we say, but did the job.
A goal. And then it changed completely the complexion. Minutes later, pull it through to Ronaldo, outside of the foot. That was 1-1.
Yeah, and then he doubled his lead shortly afterwards. 25 minutes on the clock. Marcelo into Ronaldo, into Pele, one more to Suarez, off the crossbar and in. What a finish to put him 2-1 up at half-time. Got to remember,
into the roof of the net.
Two-legged affair.
It's not over yet, Richard. Only 1 goal separates these guys. So these two will be basically battling out. There's 1 more spot left in that grand final. As you can see, Expectsporting is already in the grand final. He's already there waiting for one of these guys to play in the overall console final, where there's a prize pot of 20,000 split up, 10,000 for the winner dollars, but more importantly, a place in that last 32.
Yeah, so Expectsporting has already booked his place, and more importantly, Bromby's presence in that grand final later on in August. Huge prize money up for grabs, and I'm sure he'll be going into that final full of confidence. Why can I not dream big and aspire to be the best FIFA player in the land?
I think he just needs to sit back and go, right, I'm there for a reason. I'm part of the 32 best players in the world. Yes, I've gone through maybe 2 2 or 3 different options of qualifying. I'm still there, though. Do you know what I mean? I've done the job to get there, and there's one more spot remaining. This has been a long journey. We've lucky enough been to follow it all the way through, and so's Demon as well. He saw the first 8, when we followed it to Munich and Qatar and LA last week, and now we're at the Club World Cup where there's one more space. There was 2, and now there's only one more space left on the Xbox side.
Yeah, as we just said, the PS4 side is complete. Expectsporting clinched that place, beating New York City Chris in the PlayStation 4 final.
City Chris.
Yeah, that's 3 grand finals that he's missed out on. In Vancouver against Gastella, in last week in Los Angeles against Lucas Rep, lost 2-1, and then here today that makes it the trio of 3 losing out to Expectsporting.
This one's from 37 yards out, this free kick for Rafsou for Leon. Going to play short, maybe some off the training ground. We could see use the skill dribble. Not really for any need there. Pull it. Maybe one more. Half turn. Oh, this could be beautiful. Have a shot. Let's go! Oh, there we go. There's your let's go. Suarez with the goal. And that was a well-worked move.
Yeah, it all started from the free kick he got. He kept the ball. He didn't bang the ball into the box. He didn't launch it in for no reason. He kept it under control. Skill dribble here or there. I think
we need to take a touch there with Suarez.
At the back post. You see players do that a lot. Instead of taking the touch and killing the momentum of the ball, they'll just shoot first time. It seems to be a shot that you could say is overpowered this year. 9 times out of 10, that shot will go in.
I remember last year on FIFA, no, it's completely different. It's kind of in the game as well this year. If you shoot a second early, the keepers sometimes don't react as quick. It was something that was more effective last year, but it still does work in elements this year as well. So if he took an extra touch with Suarez, he gave the keeper maybe an extra yard or 2 to get over for Neuer to save. But there you go. There's Luis Suarez for you, and we're all square. And this game is getting more and more interesting minute by minute.
Yeah, and who else would it be but Luis Suarez?
Oh, could this be another chance? Messi, why is he not taking the finesse there? And
turn back onto his left foot.
He's not offside, sorry.
Turn back onto his strong left foot there from Lionel Messi. Ball whipped into that front post area.
Someone there, surely. Pull it. No, it's Marcelo. Onto the edge now to Rio Ferdinand, the man you don't want to get possession on the edge of the box. Counter-attack chance now. Rafsou with Messi. Feeding it through to Suarez. He's got options if he needs him. Out wide for Messi. He's going to use that one. Recycle back inside, surely. He's going to still keep down this this wing with Neymar. Into Messi. Don't know what happened there. I think he just tried to force the ball through.
Yeah, he saw the run of Luis Suarez in the penalty area. Ever reliable Luis Suarez in front of goal. He tried finding him, but on this occasion, the defence did stand strong from Rafsou. 2 goals apiece in this game. Ronaldo trying to make it 3 for Latka, but once again,
sometimes you don't need the showboat. You know, don't get me wrong, these players know what skills to move at the perfect time, but sometimes, you know, it's a bit flashy. We saw it. Did you remember that goal in Americas when there was the fake shot into the off the crossbar and in from, I think it was Ronaldo, was it, at the time? Unbelievable finish there. I can't remember what player that was for in the end, but sometimes you don't need to showboat. Sometimes you need to make things simple, simplify things.
Yeah, sometimes the simple football does come out on top, just passing the ball, playing the smart pass when you get it, or the sweaty, as probably the Twitch chat would say. Don't be afraid to use it. You're playing for huge, huge potential rewards in this tournament.
There's the attack there just fizzled out, not really caused any danger there for Tim Latka of Schalke. 2-2, remember, this is the first leg, as you can see, pretty much all over your screen at the moment. This is the Xbox side of things. Expectsporting did win the PlayStation console final. There's still a grand final, obviously, in 2 weeks' time. But there's a big console final here as well, with $10,000 up for grabs. It's just a little taster of what you could be up to in London.
Yeah, $10,000 will be going to the winner of the cross-console final, but the main business will already be done. We'll have had our PlayStation 4 and
surely
Xbox One.
Not an own goal. Boateng should
finalists
be okay
in the last 32 spots, and the cross-console final just for the money.
So the cross-console final will be the winner of this 2-legged game. So the 2 players that take the 2 spaces to London, and basically they play 1 leg on one console, 1 leg on the other one. They say it's fair. I don't know what the main differences are, legends and controller size. Yeah,
and there will be a home and away goal in that aspect, but long before we get to that, we've got this game to focus on. 76 minutes gone on the clock. Latka 2, Rafsou 2, and this is only the first leg. We've got another 90 minutes of football to do if this 90 can't separate these 2 sides.
So how would you approach these last just under 15 minutes in game time? Do you go for it? Do you go and get a goal? Do you get the advantage in that second game? Or do you go, you know what, I'll take a 2-2. We can start the second game fresh, but I'm going to need to come out and attack. I
think you've got to, if you are in this position and it's 2-2, you've pretty much a clean slate going into the second leg, so you've got to take it as it's 0-0 almost. if you do go 1-2-0 down, goals down for that second leg, that could definitely affect your mindset into that second leg, because you're going to start on attacking instead of your usual defensive or balanced. That's going to throw you off. Every little change that you make to your game, it's going to affect your game style and your playing style.
It is indeed. And
that's why the very, very best don't change. Even if they're 2-3-0 down. You saw Aga, he didn't change. He lost the game in the end, but
there's a time and place to change, isn't there? Sometimes we need to see a change, because if it's not working for you and your opponent's matched you up, you need to change the formation. You need to maybe bring a player on that you're not used to using.
Yeah, that's why I think substitutes.
Oh, this could be a goal, surely. Tim Latka. Into the roof of the net. And now he's back in front. But can he hold on to this lead?
Yeah, Arturo Vidal. I just spoke about substitutes. He's once again the opposite of Curse of the commentator. He's proving what I'm saying is right. Substitutes are key. That's why I don't really believe in the bronze bench. I think if you can bring a stacked midfielder, a couple of attackers on to really change the game, to
give a bit of energy to the midfield,
pace into that midfield, get the stamina bars back up on a couple of the players. It's huge in the terms of the game from the last 15-20 minutes. So Arturo Vidal once again proving why he's one of the favourites on FIFA 17.
Did say that, you know, would be happy to go into 2-2 or going with a goal advantage, but Tim Latka thought differently, and the man from Schalke is 3-2 up, but for how long? Remember, this guy has lost leads before.
Yeah, Rafsou will be coming straight back, ball over the top, looking for Lacazette, I think that is, but the defence of Tim Latka once again standing strong. He's going to look for the chip-through ball over the top for Ronaldo. Rio Ferdinand will deal with it.
I think what was most interesting about that goal is Vidal is not normally used in many teams. Okay, maybe he's a substitute now and then, but we never really see him. I think last year he was a bit more of a dominant player, maybe probably cursed himself, maybe a better rating, or maybe just more influential.
Yeah, you could say more influential. I also think last year you didn't have you had a Kante, but it wasn't the high-profile Kante we've got this year. Also, Pogba is used time and time again on PlayStation and on Xbox, that 92 Pogba. So maybe there's not the need to use a player like Arturo Vidal, as the ball does get cleared long, and I'm sure that will be it for this first leg.
Surely that should be full-time. 3-2. Okay, yes, it's only one goal, but it's an advantage going into that second leg. You're not going to be as worried as much. Of course, yeah, one goal's not enough. And there goes the full-time whistle. They know it's a big goal, the boys from Schalke that are behind him, but they're saying to Rafsou probably, just calm down. It's only one goal. It's only one goal, but it's still a long road, Richard, to come. We've seen comeback, but you can see the goals here. So that's the penalty that was given away. Question marks over that one, Richard.
Yeah, definitely. It was Luis Suarez stepping over. It gave Rafsou the lead in this game, but Tim Latka doing what he does best, get back into games by any means necessary, and what a goal this was.
This was lovely, just simple as you like. Boateng was pulled out there, I believe, and that was what cost him the goal there. Easy as you like, Ronaldo outside of the foot. And then it went all the way on the other hand. Tim Latka went in front again. One more, right into the roof of the net with Luis Suarez. That made it 2-1. And then it was Rafsou.
The scales did swing once again in Rafsou's favour, getting back into the game at 2-2. Hullet played into Ronaldo, into Antonio Valencia, I think that was, and then Luis Suarez smashing it home for Rafsou. 2-2.
Making it all square, and then that wasn't the last laugh that one player, it was Tim Latka that had that. And here it came, Suarez into Ronaldo. One more, and next thing you know, roof of the net from Vidal. Yeah,
Arturo Vidal, the Bayern Munich and Chilean international. What a finish.
Only 88 rated, but that still a very good call. But that's how the first game concluded. But it's still a long way, Richard. There's a second leg to play. But more importantly, one of these guys will be joining Expectsporting in the final showdown, you could say. $10,000 up for grabs. And more importantly, they'll both be in London for the grand final.
Yeah, both of those players will be playing in London in a couple of weeks' time. And what a tournament that is. $200,000, the biggest FIFA prize ever up to date, will be going to the winner. And a couple of the names who are going to be participating there. You've got the likes of #Tats, the Paris regional winner, Vitality Rocky, what a tournament he had in Berlin. You've got Shells as well, Unilag Gorilla, Timo representing Wolfsburg. So many unbelievable FIFA players. It's going to be a very, very tough competition to win.
That's going to be the most interesting tournament, I think, today, especially with, you know, competitions like this. The Club World Cup, the first year, has run. Now, 19 clubs are here, 24 players from them. But what does that show? The first year that FIFA's really put its feet in the water in the eSports world with the FUT champions.
We can also say it's brought out Expectsporting. This is his breakout moment, you could say. He beat, I think it was Ajax Danny in that semi-final. Yeah. Just say quite comfortably. Aggie, I believe, in that semi-final. Very comfortably. Put his name on the map, and then he's absolutely knocked it out of the park. He will be in London, and you know what? These players should be looking out for him.
Should be indeed. I'm interested to see how the likes of Danny will cope, and the players that have already qualified from Berlin. You know, they haven't been involved in the big competitions, which for me, unless they're playing the game religiously, a lot of people say, you know, I don't bother playing for the champions anymore because there's nothing to qualify for. You need to still be practicing. If you're part of the 8 or the 10 or the 4 from the rest of the world, or even the 8 from Americas, yes, you've had your tournament late on, so you can be adapted well. But if you're part of the Marlets, the Unilag Gorillas, you know, the Shells there, have you been practicing in that month off?
I mean, I spoke to Mal just then. He said, look, it's been an up and down road for me since Berlin. I've had other commitments. I've not been able to play as much as I wanted. We talked to Gastella in America. He said, look, I've just not had the time to practice coming into this event. A couple of names to look out for. AA Megazib, what a player he is, the Qatari hero. He's never lost a tournament in Qatar. Watch out for him in London.
We'll be bringing a lot of the Qataris with him as well. It was a very interesting story, and what a story it was. But we are underway in this second leg. We'll talk about what's happening in that grand final a lot more shortly. But this is the score at the moment. It's 3-2 in this game. Only one goal separates, but it's in the favour of Team Latka, playing as Schalke from left to right.
Yeah, late winner from Arturo Vidal that did seal that first leg victory, but he's far from over. Latka in the ascendancy though. Pele.
Surely, it's just no one locked onto that one. You're thinking Ronaldo locks onto that. That's 4-2.
Yeah, you can see there the button layout from Rafsou. Such high concentration, so much riding on this game for these two players. But obviously representing their retrospective clubs, Olympic Lyon and Schalke. But also, personally, this could be a huge, huge tournament for them in London.
I think it was Alex Danny saying that the French scene is very strong. If Fatality Brian, was playing this year, what a face he is in the scene. You know, he won all the Gfinity Cups back in the day. Now you look over to Fatality Rocky, the world champion today. He'll be at that final chance now. Pele there, and the big save. That's where you get caught out. The goalkeeper throws. We always used to talk about that. Players a little bit too unsure with them.
Yeah, for me, goalkeepers is something in the game that if you do a low-driven shot across any goalkeeper, they're not going to save it.
Suarez down the other end. And
the giant throw for me is the one stat that you need to look at. That's why Neuer is the number one. David De Gea, because they have got that giant throw.
That comes with a flick on there. And
you might see it in news here.
And Neuer will just try and calm this game down. Remember that it's Rafsou that needs to score here. If he scores, this game will stay as 3-3 in aggregate. Then we go to goal and goal. But I doubt there's only going to be one goal in this game.
Yeah, Rafsou currently down 3-2, as you can see at the top of your screen. That's the aggregate scoreline. So this is the second leg in the Xbox console final. The winner of this will be booking the final place to London.
They will be indeed. And what, you know, to say, you can go on your Twitter bars, you can go on your portfolio, say, I was part of the 32 best players in FIFA 17.
FIWC 2017
Grand Final. All the way across. What an interception that was from Vieira. But you can say you're a world finalist, an interactive World Cup finalist. Pull it now. Chance now for Rafsou. Cheeky little pass back there, but Boateng will read that one ever so well. And here's a chance to counter-attack down the other end now for Tim Latka from Schalke.
Yeah, Hullet driving forward. It's Paul Pogba chasing back, and Hullet does win a free kick for Tim Latka. It's too early to start looking at the clock, but do you think
it's got to be playing on his mind there, and another day that one could have been flicked on past the German keeper there, but you're right. Okay, yes, you can slow the game, then you can take it into quarters, but you can't. I tell you now, the best players, as I said it to Demon earlier, I said the best players, Principe, they get goals, they build it, they don't stop. That could be a big tackle there. I don't think that's going to be a red. It's going to be a yellow, but that one's still very dangerous. That could come back and haunt him later on too. Yeah, Captain Ruud Hullet there, picking up the booking for his side for Schalke. Ball whipped into the box from Rafsou. Looking for the Patrick Vieira there. Run. Do you think Ruud Hullet is the go-to legend?
I think he definitely is. I think he's probably the first player that a lot of these Xbox players do put into their team because he's so well-rounded. He gets a link to every other player around him, and I can't think of any other legend who is as frequently used as Ruud Hullet. Maybe Rio Ferdinand, but not as much now with the team of the season additions. Even with some of the best 96, 97 rated midfielders in the game, Hullet is used.
In the first part of the FIFA kind of season, you could say, it was kind of a George Best show, and then the new cards came into play, and he wasn't really needed as much.
Yeah, as soon as you got that team of the year, Messi, the other high-rated right wingers in the game, the team of the season, Robben, for example. This could be a chance to Rafsou, maybe one more, all the way across. Ronaldo, play it. He was in two minds there, whether just to whip that one across or I doubt take a shot. The angle was too tight. Yeah, I did just mention Robben. We've not really seen a lot of a Bundesliga presence here today. The team of the season Bundesliga players are in the version of the game that the players are playing. So you got like some Aubameyang, Robben. I think the only player.
Suarez, let's go! There we go!
Yes!
Out of nowhere!
What a goal from Luis Suarez. Why use the Bundesliga players when you can use a 98 Uruguayan Barcelona striker? What a finish from Luis Suarez. Smashing it home. 3 each.
That's what I say about taking risks, Richard. Not enough players do it. They try and rustle up the perfect goal. Sometimes you need to get out your feet from 35 yards and have a hit here, because you never know, it might go in the top corner like that one just did.
When you're using a player of Luis Suarez's calibre, just shoot. He's got the shooting stats. Just players don't seem to use it. They want to try and pass and find the perfect
They don't
chance.
want to waste possession, Richard. That is literally as simple as it is. But this game is all square now at 3-3 and aggregate, as you can see at the top of your screen. That's going to be a corner now to Tim Latka, a guy that both these players cannot hold on to leads. That's what I've realised now.
Yeah, neither of these players that defensively sound at the back, and they love scoring goals though. And it's going to be a chip through ball for Neymar, for Rafsou. Can he make it 4 and take the lead in this game?
This will be a fantastic turnaround. This guy knows how to turn around games. Ronaldo just looking for that one more pass if he can. He's going to bring more players into this attack. Ronaldo went out wide for some reason, and now this is the time to counter-attack. Get that ball across. Pele has got the legs on him, and he can get that. Boateng coming over. Feed that ball through. Oh, Boateng there. That was huge.
Yeah, very, very, very important touch there from Jerome Boateng. It was Pele. I think he probably could have run past Boateng. He had the pace. I think Pele, that 95 rated, the highest rated possible legend in the game, and what a player he is. It rarely used.
Sometimes we see him, rustled into the centre midfield position as the players lock in the chemistry like the Ronaldos, because he's a player that you want to be in that team, or at least on the bench. If he's not in the team, he's probably on the bench for at least 75% of players. And again, he's got superb legs in him, superb stats.
Rocky, the FUT Champions Berlin final, I think it was Pele who scored the decisive goal in that game, the 90th minute against Shells, and it proves himself why he should be on that bench at least on the Xbox division.
I think, as you say, before the new cards count, the team of the year, team of the seasons, he was a firm choice in that squad. But now you've got 98 rate, 99, 97 cards. You want to go for them, but this game's still at 3-3 in the second leg, and surely he's going to get to that one, though. He's not. Neuer will get there. The first game finished at 3-2 to Tim Latka, and we're at half-time in this second leg, and it's 1-0 to Rafsou, so 3-3 overall. An interesting first half in this game.
Yeah,
both players still going for it in my eyes.
You saw Latka holding onto the ball there. Maybe he just wants to get into half-time because he feels he's very much under the cosh. Rafsou, once again, providing the attack.
Will there be one more chance before that half-time whistle goes? Ronaldo tries to fit it through to Messi there. Kind of a slide tackle effort. Neuer, get that ball cleared long, and that'll be half-time. But all we need to know is that half-time is 3-3. Tim Latka, he hasn't played well this first half.
Yeah, Rafsou has been dominant in this first half. You can see this is the goal that did come.
The only goal
Rafsou did snatch.
That came out from a clearance in the end, and there was Suarez outside on the right foot, have an effort from 30 yards, and next thing you know, you're 1-0 in front, 3-3 on aggregate.
Yeah, what a finish that is from Luis Suarez. Fires it past the goalkeeper.
And we are underway in this second half. Last 45 minutes, or last chance saloon now for one of these players to get into that grand final.
45 minutes away from London. This could be the biggest 45 minutes of these two players' FIFA career.
It could be the difference between getting a contract re-signed for your club, because a lot of these contracts are only 1 year for these players, so the course of their FIFA 17, you could say essentially career, you need to have accomplishments in that year. You need to have something to show, you know what, I am worth signing again.
Yeah, the contract renewal, it's a huge factor that it could potentially be playing on these two players' minds as well. Schalke, a huge e-sport with signings, bringing people in, bringing people out.
And Vieira there just trying to conjure up something, trying to get an attack going at least, because one goal, okay, yes, there was only one goal in the first half, but you get one goal, maybe 60th minute, you can sit on it. Maybe you can just sit on it.
From looking at this second leg, I think that Rafsou is slightly more confident of the two players right now. He's bringing the attack more to Tim Latka. He's 1-0 up in this game. He's got the confidence in this game. He's got the psychological, I think he's got the slight psychological advantage.
One thing he does, though, Richard, he comes behind. He's always coming behind. When he's conceding goals, he'll come from behind. He'll come and he'll deliver every single time. He'll come back, he'll equalise. Remember, 5-4 on aggregate it was in the end in his semi-final against Vince. And what a game that was. He was 4-2 down at one point. To have the character to come back and win 5-4 is huge. Yeah,
that sort of character, it only really shows when you are in a losing position. It's because sometimes he knows that I am good enough, but my defending just needs to be better as he looks to take the lead in this game.
Surely, back across Ronaldo.
Save.
Another day, that one. could go in. This attack isn't over yet, though. Ronaldo back inside to Suarez. Went for the fake shot. Penalty. He's injured, but... Oh, no, he's not. That's down the other way.
What a save from Tim Latka's number one. It is Team of the Year, Manuel Neuer in goal. There's often the debate, who is the best goalkeeper on the game. For me, it is that Team of the Year Neuer, and he proved it once again.
For me, it's a De Gea show. 95 rated, just because he links up with maybe the likes of the BPL or the EFL centre, or EPL, sorry, centre backs. You know, you could have David Luiz, Azpilicueta, but at the same time, I like Sergio Ramos in there for me. And when you want to play a legend in there as well, or if you want to kind of get that German link, and you have to play Boateng, you have to use a German keeper, and Neuer is normally the number one choice.
Yeah, 98 Team of the Year Neuer. Obviously, you've got the Team of the Season David De Gea at 95. You've got Team of the Season Lloris, we've seen a little bit at 94. Courtois at 89.
Yeah.
Top personal preference for the goalkeeper, but
these players would have played hundreds of games, maybe thousands. I've seen some of the records that some pros have played from
up to 3,000 games.
Yeah. They would have experienced what these players can do, you know, maybe not in the course of 5 to 6 or 7 games over the course of this, you know, tournament today. They know they can deliver over 100 games.
Yeah, one thing that brings me back to John Oliveira, JKO, in America. He played with the exact team that he used on Weekend League, the full Premier League team.
Here's a chance now for Vieira, all the way across, surely, and Marcelo just does enough, but this attack isn't over yet. Tim Latka now, pull it. I don't know what happened there. I think there was a low-driven pass on the box there. Suarez, another day that one could fall through to Ronaldo.
Counter-attack, look for the run of, I think that's Neymar there. He's just been pulled back though. Ronaldo driving into that corner. He's going to turn back.
Surely, there's the killer ball. Is he going to get
through?
That's a tactical foul, you could say.
Suarez looked like he were in on goal. He gets pulled back for the free kick. Kyle Walker on Ronaldo.
That could have been huge. That could have been the attack. Maybe summing off the training ground, because all we're going to see really is a cross into the box. Messi, in it goes. Anyone in there? And keeper can just flap it. There's a man out the back line now. Boateng's on the floor. Make the most of that. Pull it. Whip it across if you can. And he does win a corner. Lacazette is now on for Neymar.
Yeah, and who else would it be but Lacazette, the former Lyon man, to score for the player representing Olympique Lyon. Messi whips the ball to the box.
Anyone in there? No, there isn't.
Chance still alive. Jerome Boateng going to probably fire it out onto this far side. That he does. Into Lacazette. Look for the 1-2.
Pull it now. Through to Messi. Remember, it's free through and out. If it stays like this, we go to golden goal. Pretty simple. Chance. Half turn. Suarez. Messi. Finish it.
Ooh. Just got a deflection. Just killed all the momentum out of that shot there from Lionel Messi. And Manuel Neuer clutches onto the ball. Tim Latka is looking very, very shaky in this final.
Say about how a goal changes things, Richard. Now he feels the pressure. Now he feels under the cosh, you said before. But can he deliver? There's going to be at least a chance for both these players each before this game will finish. But it's who will take the better chance.
Yeah,
who will make the most of it.
Only 13 minutes left to go. All Rafsou since half-time. Pull it. Going to look for Ronaldo.
If you can. Second time of asking if you can get that. Surely. Ronaldo. Goal. Yes! Could that be the goal that keeps him in London for maybe in 2 weeks' time?
There we have it. 12 minutes on the clock. Rafsou, we've said from the second half, he has been the more aggressive of the two players. He proves it. That momentum, you could say, has paid dividends. Rafsou 4, Latka 3. This game 2-0.
I think this is the first time that he's been in front, over the course of these 2 games. He's been chasing. To me, he's been chasing that kind of being behind there with Tim Latka, but now the shoe's on the other foot.
He was chasing shadows in that first game. He scored the penalty, went 1-0 up, and then he didn't really look in the game at all. This second leg, he's been the much better player over the two. We've seen the changes coming out from Tim Latka, switching to the 4-3-3 attack. Suarez at camp, Bale, Vidal, Dembele, Ronaldo, all in use. He needs.
It doesn't surprise me. He has to go for it now.
He needs a hero.
He'll be open for a hero as well. And you can see there, he's just changing a few things. Stay forward, be aggressive, and get me a goal. You get me a goal, I can go to golden goal, and I can have one more shot at getting myself in London.
That's how quickly eSports FIFA can change. All it takes is a couple of chances, a couple of shots here or there. And now we've got a completely different scenario. Rafsou is going to be the more defensive of the two players. He's probably going to go on defensive, park the bus maybe. 10 minutes to see out this game, and he is in London.
I said right at the beginning of today, I said, there's a big chance that Rafsou could cause not an upset, but he can get through in this group. Some would say a little bit of an underdog. He performed ever so well in the Ziga battle in Amsterdam, but is there any way back for Tim Latka now? Score is 4 goals to 3 to Rafsou. Rafsou, be clever now. You're in a tournament. Don't waste time as such, but keep the ball in the right areas. And Do not go losing the possession when you don't need to. Here comes Messi for him now. Could it be one-way traffic? Oh, that's beautiful there. He's worked. Messi just that skill dribble. Low driven, surely. Cuts back inside. Tries to cut back out.
But it's good time. You could say time management there. He's on the attack. He's not going to concede a goal when the ball is in his opponent's box. Gareth Bale going to drive forward. The fresh Gareth Bale gets past Rio
as well. He can get past Rio Ferdinand, cut back inside if he can. That may have just done enough on the tackle there. Get rid of the ball.
Got Rio's big toe on that.
Just what Rio Ferdinand does on the big stages. Lacazette, he's got Suarez just inside if he needs him, but I'm just going to drive down the wing, he's thinking. Keep the ball in the right area. 88 on the clock, literally seconds left, plus added time to come. We know what added time could be like. It could be a little bit long or overdue than it normally tends to be.
Yeah, especially at this stage when Tim Latka's looking at the clock, it's ticking down so fast. Rafsou's looking at it thinking, well, why is it taking so long? Both of these players have got so much to play for, and Rafsou, as it stands, will be joining Experto in London.
He will be joining Expectsporting, the man from Denmark, Scandinavia region, from Brøndby. And there you go! He's in London! 4-3 win. And what, again, that was in the end. He will be taking the final spot in London, place number 32 over on the Xbox side. The Frenchman from Lyon will be back in 2 weeks for that final.
Yeah, he got very much hard done by, you could say, in Munich. He got through to the semi-finals, into that knockout stage. He got knocked out there. He's come back representing his club this time, Olympique Lyon, and he's done the business on the beast of stages. 4-3 over the course of the 2 legs, and he knocks out Tim Latka in the final. What a man.
What a man indeed, and that clarifies everything now. Overall, it was Expectsporting, a big 3-1 win in the end to get through into London.